Honorable Chair. Honorable Chairperson, if I may, this is a matter we take very serious in the Commission, and I want to assure the committee that we will do our best to clear this debt. We have engaged GRA vigorously on this, and we would ensure that we settle this.
Mr. Chairman, the Executive Secretary made an arrangement with the GRA, and these issues were raised by the auditors. So I think the right thing is that any arrangement for a payment plan should be made known to the auditors. Have you done that? That remains my question.
Honorable Chairperson, we have communicated with the auditors, and again, we would engage them to confirm this communication to the auditors.
Auditors, have you been made aware, or they will engage you to confirm it? Have you been made aware? Have you?
Honorable Chair, what we can confirm is that they have made a payment of 50,000 to the GRA. As to the arrangement between them and GRA concerning the subsequent payment, we cannot attest to that.
Mr. Executive Secretary, you can hear what the auditor has just said. Why did you do that?
Honorable Chairperson, I am advised by my team that we did communicate to the audit team that was on the ground as to the arrangements with the GRA. So we would, yes, Honorable Chairperson, we will go back and ensure that we...
So you've so far paid 50,000 Ghana cedis, and you are left with about 90,000 Ghana cedis. What? Is it not, you are left with about 190,000 Ghana cedis. What can you tell us the payment plan that you have with the GRA?
In fact, Honorable Chairperson, we discussed with the GRA, first of all, that they should give us a rebate. This was not accepted. Then we said, given the financial position of the Commission, we would pay immediately anytime we have releases coming in. We would ensure that we make some payment. This really is a tough decision, honestly, and a tough situation for us. We know that we owe. We are not under any circumstance saying we do not owe GRA. But anytime we have releases, we would make some payment. And that has been our plea to the GRA.
Then it means that you don't have any payment plan with the GRA. That is the bottom line. Anytime I thought you have releases, you honor payment. It's not a payment plan. Yes, you don't have any payment plan with the GRA.
Madam Chairperson, I believe the import of what he's saying is that they have an arrangement with the GRA for a deferment of the payment until such time that they have money. That is acceptable under the law. The GRA, the commissioner, has the discretionary power, all right, to defer the payment of a tax because the tax is a debt due and owing to the Republic, okay, and it is within the remit of the GRA to say when the taxpayer can make the payment. And in any case, this is a subvented organization that is under financial stress. So to insist that they cough up, monies immediately to pay for this, liability, that was not intentional. I don't think that it is fair. They are not an organization that generates any income. In fact, what they do is to support the poor in accessing legal services. So we should be, as a state, more sympathetic to their situation than be grilling them as we are doing now.
Honorable Minister, I'm happy they are under your purview, they are under your ministry, so that when you go for budgetary allocations, you tell the minister to give them what is due. But when you look at their financial performance, do they receive, apart from, I see a grant of 32 million. Does it come from government or it comes from other sources? I don't see any inflow from government here, and then I see your non-tax revenue.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Everything we receive is from government.
So the grant of 32 million is from government.
Very well, Honorable Chairperson.
So if you got a grant of 32 million and you owe 240, what stopped you from paying your taxes? Because these are the same monies that government generates and uses it to pay you and other ministries, departments, and agencies. So it is clear that you are not placing priority on the payment of your obligations. You have defaulted, you are supposed to pay, you are not paying, you get 32 million, and you choose to use it for other things that you see as equally important. And then you're saying that until budgetary allocations come in. And so when do you think that the outstanding 190 can be cleared off your books? Because if you get 32 million and you can't pay 241,000 Ghana cedis and you say you are waiting for budgetary allocations to come, then maybe you need 200 million before you can clear it. And that is not going to happen because even the AG's department does not get 200 million as grants from government. So please tell us something concrete. You can arrange with the GRA. So you said you have arranged. Can we see something on paper? Because we cannot use your word of mouth to say that it's acceptable for you to pay your taxes through that medium. And so tell us the arrangements, the documented arrangements that you have done with GRA, and let us know, let this committee know moving forward when you are going to clear the 190, because 200 million is not going to come for you to clear the 190. When you get 32, you do the needful.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. And we do, in fact, take the recommendation and, of course, the chiding of the committee very seriously. We would furnish you with the documentation, but if I may also humbly request that, yes, given the situation, and as the Honorable Attorney General has also indicated, we would revert to GRA and come back to the committee with something very concrete. The 32 million you are referring to also includes our compensation. It's not totally for our goods and services and operations, but I want to assure you that I take the consideration of the committee very seriously, and we would not take it lightly at all and ensure this debt is cleared.
Yeah, I know that 32 million includes your compensation of 28 million, so you still have 4 million left. It's a matter of priority. You think it's for government, so it is not necessary, it's not urgent, and that is what I want to drive at. You still had 4 million Ghana cedis, and taking 240,000 Ghana cedis from 4 million Ghana cedis, respectfully, it is something you ought to do. Others come here and they are charged for, I wouldn't say charged because the AG is here, and there's an infraction of non-payment of taxes, and we give them 30 days. We give them 30 days to repay the amounts. So we would want to see some documentation with GRA as to when this payment can be cleared, and it has to be, like I told you, we give them 30 days. So take that into consideration, and please prioritize things that are also equally important, because these are the same taxes that government uses to pay all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Well taken.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. Legal Aid Commission. Let me take you back to the unqualified suppliers. Since you interpret the laws, this may come as an advice. If you look at item number 6, you bought toners from Get for Less on the 19th of October, 2023 for 22,500. And then if you look at number 7, 1st of November, about 2 weeks, you bought another toners from the same company for 81,000. You know very well that if the amount is more than 100,000, you need to use you need to use a different procurement method. But you decided to buy the 22,000 and then bought another 81,000. But if we put the two together, to more than the 100,000, which you didn't need to use the request for quotation. So why did you decide to break bulk?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. I am advised that we would have to check the dating of these. Breaking bulk is something we are very conscious of in the Commission and would not want to do anything of the sort. So I respectfully and humbly plead that let us confirm the dates there. It may not be a true reflection of the situation. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
We'll let the auditors do that for us. But you see, if you don't pay the taxes, we'll send it to the Attorney General for prosecution. Let's go to the next one. Unpresented vouchers of 26,854.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chairperson, we have the vouchers also for verification. I believe, again, we made these available. So, but nonetheless, we have brought all the vouchers concerned for verification by the auditors.
Auditors, have you seen those documents?
Yes, Honorable Chair, in our follow-up, the PVs were presented and were duly verified.
Good. The next infraction is on paragraph 856, and NASA will take care of that one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Executive Director, if I may borrow the words of your boss, our astute Attorney General, he said, subvented government organization that is under financial distress. But, Executive Director, you spoke about your non-current assets that is increased astronomically because some of your landed properties were revalued. In the same vein, you mentioned Koforidua. In the same vein, Executive Director, you have not taken the steps to register all these lands. And before we realize, we find ourselves in a tug of war with businessmen who are encroaching on our lands. And if you are an institution under financial distress, how can you fight these guys? Please, what steps have you taken in the registration of these lands?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. We have the documents, the title documents for Western Region and for the Ashanti Regional Office. All the others, in fact, we've taken the steps to register them. And we are in the process. There are different stages of the registration process, but at least we have the documentation to share with the auditors also for the Western and Ashanti Regional properties.
Thank you very much. Chairman, with this one, I would like you to let them give us some timelines to register these lands. But they are in prime locations in Koforidua. They are in prime locations. And I know how, that's where I come from, so I know how hot those lands are.
Sir, Lands Commission was here. We asked him about these things. And I wish they had stayed to see what the problem that we are going through. Have you made any attempt to register these?
Yes, Honorable Chairperson.
How long have you been working on it?
I believe since from last year. Yes, from last year we began work on the registration of these properties that we have.
Now, when you say you are working on it, does it mean you've noted it down, or the land has been surveyed, or what was the process you are going through?
The lands have been surveyed.
Yes, sir.
The lands have been surveyed.
And
so it is for us to, continue from the survey with ensuring that the necessary payments are done so that we can complete the registration.
How long will it take you to register these lands? Because I'm interested in your land at Takrady. If you don't want it, I will take it over.
Takrady, Honorable Chairperson, Takrady is registered, yes.
But it's listed here. 0.72 acres of land.
Yes. It was, I'm advised it was early this year that the registration was completed and we received the documentation.
What about the one in Tamale?
Tamale, we are, Tamale is not completed. Yes, Tamale is not completed. Tamale, we are on the premises also of the Judicial Service. There was the Judicial Service that gave us that property. Yes.
What about the one in Kumasi?
Kumasi is also done. Kumasi, we have the documentation. Yes.
Anyway, you guys have enough lawyers to go to court on these lands.
Yes, please.
So that's why you haven't registered them.
Yes. Yes. We don't want to litigate. Honorable Chairperson, I will engage with the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission. I have met him previously, earlier this year, on our issues. So I will continue that engagement so we ensure this is done as soon as possible, Honorable Chairperson.
All right. You have up to, how long do you think it will take you to do this?
Honorable Chairperson, we would commit to middle of next year, by end of second quarter.
Middle of next year is not an answer.
By 30th June, Honorable Chairperson.
30th June
2026.
All these lands will be registered.
We would ensure that
you have titles to these.
And obtain title documents.
The whole country is watching you.
Very well, Honorable Chairperson. I am aware of the oath I've taken.
All right.
This one goes to Attorney General. There are a lot of institutions under your outfit have issues with their land registration, so we will please urge you to actually enforce, push them to register government lands because it's very crucial.
All right, now let's call Office of the Registrar. Oh, I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, I was just going to thank the honorable member and say that the advice is well taken.
Thank you. Now let's call Office of the Registrar of Companies. Legal Aid Commission, you are discharged. Now,
Madam Chair, the ORC was not here, so they were not sworn in.
Okay.
So they have to first take the oath before.
Clerk, swear them in, please.
Swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Could you please introduce yourself to the committee?
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I am Mame Sama Pepra, Acting Registrar of Companies.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I'm the Head of Finance, Vivian Amperi.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I'm Dennis Bochweche, Head Administration.
Respectfully, Honorable Chair, I am Prince Kaka, Head of Internal Audit.
All right. Honorable Ahinkwa will go through the financials with you, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Office of the Registrar of Companies. Looking at your financial performance. Your non-tax revenue, you had 136 million plus. Your grants, 31 million plus. And then other income, also 404,000 plus. So you have a surplus of 62,669,299. So what did you do so extraordinary to get this surplus of 62 million? I want to know. I'm curious.
Respectfully, Honorable Chair, we have engaged in intensive sensitization on our mandate. As part of our mandate under the Companies Act 992, we are supposed to educate the public about our services and the registrations, the various registrations we engage in. So we've done a lot of that sensitization alongside with registration clinics, where we go to various areas and then register businesses and companies as well.
On compensations, you have 16 million, and on the use of goods and services, 63 million plus. I see it to be a bit astronomical. Any explanation? Or because you are earning more, as the mantra is, then you spend more. Because most people come, and that is the trend. They earn more. As they earn more, they spend more. Is that the trajectory? Any explanation?
Respectfully, yes. Respectfully, Honorable Chair, given that we are recently decoupled from the Registrar General's department, and with the division of the assets, we weren't given a chunk of the assets. So we are now getting most of these assets from our IGF. And the compensation is given by the government, not from our IGF.
Your current ratio is 5 to 4 to 1, which indicates that you'll be capable of meeting your short-term financial obligations. I think it's positive. So what do you want to do differently from what you mentioned earlier to quadruple or even better, more than that of what you have achieved earlier?
So, Mr. Chair, we've extended our activities to other regions where we don't have offices. Currently, we just ended a registration clinic in Eastern Region where we don't have an office. We'll be going to 3 other regions before the end of this year: Volta, OT, and Central. So these are some of the things we are engaging in to ensure that we register more businesses and increase our IGF.
So once you be establishing more offices, it means the human resource will also increase. And I believe your next report will indicate an increase in the compensations. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Your infraction is on paragraph 870, and Honorable Gape will take care of that one.
Thank you. This issue is related to abandoned electronic queuing management system. Under the Section 7 of Public Financial Management Act 2016, at 921. As a principal officer, exercise of your duty is to provide efficient management system to actually put in place control measures. You have acquired this system, and then you have abandoned it in a Kumasi office. And in addition to that, you further incur a total cost of expenditure, 595,742 Ghana cedis, 12 pesos, on initial acquisition and installation and periodic maintenance of the system in Kumasi office. This is supposed to actually help you where your clients move everything faster for your clients. But now, one, it's not functioning. The queue is there. Second, you have actually put in money. The money that you have put in, the investment is waste. What is the status with regards to this?
Respectfully, Honorable Chair, the queue management system malfunctioned due to power fluctuations. So currently, we sent service personnel to work on it. It's been resolved and it's being used by the Kumasi office.
Yeah, so in the recommendation of the auditor, they ask you to buy some appliance to safeguard the is it done?
That is so, Honorable Chair, and AVR was purchased for the office.
So it's now working well, everything is fine?
That is so, Honorable Chair.
So is the auditors aware of it? Audited?
Yes, Honorable Chair, now the system is working, is operating. They have indeed acquired the UPS and the AVR, and we can say that the system is operating fully. Thank you.
Just want to follow up with some public interest question. For instance, if let's say at a Mills Institute, where the person is not a family, is not related, can I just come to your office and register a company?
So, respectfully, Honorable Chair, the law has certain rules regarding the registration of business names. We have to ensure that there is no conflict with other names on our register. We have to also ensure that it is in the interest of the public that such names exist on our register. There are a number of enumerated steps that we go through, conduct the search, and ensure that it's in line with Act 992, and then we'll do the registration.
Question is, this is a known president, former president, and then somebody, if I'm not related to the president, can I just come to your office and register a company?
Under the law, misleading names are not allowed in our register, so we would look at it and have it rectified.
So why did you allow it? How it's at a Mills Institute registered?
Respectfully, Honorable Chair, I'm not aware of it. I'll look at our system and then revert on it.
Madam, unfortunately, I have all the documents from your office. Nothing was followed. No rule, rhyme, or reason was followed. I just don't want to go into it because it may be a conflict of interest.
Chairman, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well noted, Honorable Chairman.
Madam, even though you've explained what happened in Kumasi, but I'm just interested in the costs to the state, or the loss to the state. You installed this particular system in two places, two different places, Kumasi and Accra. What did you do right in Accra that caused the Accra one to operate without any problem, but the Kumasi one had problems? What happened?
Respectfully, Honorable Chair, these were power fluctuation issues in Kumasi that we didn't have control over.
So you are saying that the power fluctuation is done in Accra. Is that the case? Practically.
Honorable Chair, it could happen in Accra. It didn't affect our machines in Accra. Now we've purchased the UPS for all the regions, not just Kumasi.
All right, thank you. You are discharged, madam.
Thank you, Honorable.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, madam. Hold on for a minute. I hear there's one more issue.
Their records look very clean, and then it look very positive. But looking at what we are doing here so far, there's a benchmark. You use the previous year, and then you look at the current year, and you strike the differences. That will tell you how best they are performing. But when you look at this one, it is only the 2023 outlook that was portrayed here. So how do we compare the 2022? So I'm throwing it to the auditors. Okay.
All right. Office of the Registrar of Companies, you are discharged. But stay tuned. You will hear from me.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Now let's call Economic and Organized Crime Office. Now, Yoko, where's the boss?
The boss is here. Which boss are you looking for? The Attorney General himself is here.
I'm sorry, the CEO.
The Deputy CEO is here.
Mr. AG, we just want to find out where the CEO is because under normal circumstances, it is the CEO that is supposed to attend upon you. You, with all your duties and your obligations, you have halted it to attend upon the committee, and we expect same from CEOs and heads of institutions. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I spoke to him this morning. He's otherwise engaged on a path of investigation and the oral. Yes, he's doing oral investigations.
That is very important. This is also
extremely
equally important.
I do understand, Madam Chair.
And so next time, you should please place priority on Public Accounts Committee too, because that is also important.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will convey that message.
All right, Yoko, let's look at your financials. Okay. If you look at it, 2022, you had a surplus of 2.7 million, and 2023, a surplus of 3.1 million. And looking at your current ratio, 1.1 to 1, and in 2022, and another 1.1 to 1 in 2023. Okay, madam, go ahead with the few you have.
Please, I just want to know what is grant in kind, because it's listed under your income, grants in kind.
So thank you very much, Madam Chair. The grant in kind are those donations that are not monetary in nature. So if assets are donated to the office, if laptops are donated to the office, they didn't come in a form of money, but those are quantified and also recognized in the financial reports as income, because if it were not there, we're going to use money to buy them. And the current IPSAS, the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, makes this a requirement to recognize all those inflows as part of your revenue. And that is why it's there as grant in kind.
So then how do you place value on them? What process do you take, you go through to place value on these grants in kind?
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. There are those that come with the values attached, but those that come without the values, then we use the comparative market prices to value them. If they come in the form of assets like vehicle or computers, then they are also recognized in our fixed asset register, and then we depreciate them as well. Thank you very much.
And I also see other grants. What are other? I know the first grant is the budgetary allocation that comes from government. And so what is other grants, please?
So the other grants are support from other institutions that, bring in inflow for us to, carry out our operational activities.
What other institutions support you in your work?
So in 2023 in particular, we have support from the BOG and then Bankers Association. They bring in resources when we reach out, and then we're able to get those supports to be able to, run the office.
On what basis do you ask for support from Bank of Ghana and all the other agencies? I don't know. Maybe if other public boards are listening and they also need support, they can also go to Bank of Ghana and those other institutions for same. So on what basis do you go for support?
So we have an MOU, an MOU with BOG. There are certain specific investigations or activities they want the office to support them to carry out. And so they support the office to provide the necessary tools that we will need to be able to.
So they are not grants, they are your internally generated funds. And it should be captured as such, auditors, because these are services that they provide, and then, like you said, BOG pays you for that. Yes.
Respectfully, they are not services that we provide. It's an understanding that we are giving you this support to support certain investigative activities. It's not something that is constant that you can say these are IGF. Because IGF goes through a certain process. But this one, you can't, beginning of the year, you cannot tell that this institution or that institution will be able to give you this support. So it's very difficult. But in the course of our activities, if there is the need for an institution like BOG or GRA or any other institution to give us support to carry out an activity, then we go on that tangent. So it's quite difficult to say these are IGF because there are processes that
when you treat it this way, then it becomes difficult for government to capture the full revenue that you earn in a year. That if you treat it this way, because there should be some allocation that for the year 2025, you'll be receiving, say, 2 million, 3 million in other grants. But if you say you won't capture it at all, you wouldn't mention it at all, and then as in the course of the year, these monies come in, government will not be able to, because government in his books, in government's books, sorry, they have given you 39.7 million. But then there are other monies that come in. And you know that as part of the regulations, you cannot spend monies that you haven't, right, the auditors, you cannot spend monies that you haven't shown in your budget. When you go for the Ministry of Finance budget hearings, that is what they tell you. So if you are telling me that you don't want to capture it, it's not IGF, but yet you receive and then you spend, that is not the way to go, because as far as I know, as part of the budget management practices, you cannot spend monies that you haven't declared. And so that if you do not declare, you do not put anything under other grants, and then you spend, as far as I know, it is a breach of the financial regulation. So you may want to find out more and treat it as such.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Can I finish? And sir, please, I'd like to know your staff strength. I'm looking at your compensation, and I would like to know the staff strength before.
So you know, as at the 2023, we're about 406, 400, you know, and 6 thereabout. 2023, because this is the 2023
yes.
Report. Yeah.
We are 406.
Yes.
And in 2022?
In 2022, due to, how do we call it, retirement and other things, so that figure should be around 430.
430.
430, yeah.
Okay. 430 with 28.7 million in compensation, 406 with 38.6 million. And in 2023, I don't think government increased salaries more than, what was it? So the increment of 10 million is a bit on the high side. But you do investigative things, and I know that sometimes other benefits are put in place to help you carry out your mandate. So I'll leave it as such.
Yeah. Honorable Chair, the establishment of EOCO is actually 1,300. So in terms of human resources, they are under-resourced. And that is highly problematic, you know, in terms of the investigations, that their investigative capacity around the country. They have, you know, a deficit of 900, you know, investigators and other staff to be able to function optimally. So this is, I mean, a problem that I think I should draw the committee's attention to, because I've raised it with the Minister of Finance. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We would also include it in our report and ask the Minister to assist, maybe have a plan. They cannot take all the 900 at once, but they should have a plan, a working plan that will help bring on board more people to enable you carry out your investigations as it's required of you. And please, what is social benefits? What goes into social benefits?
Thank you very much, Madam. So these are payments relating to medical, you know, refunds that are paid to staff. And that's what we call social benefit. Thank you.
So all these things should go under compensation of employees because it's part of the benefits and salaries of employees.
The classification,
the social benefits, yes,
is social benefits. So
yes,
that takes care of medical, you know.
Yes, and I'm saying that it should be part and parcel of compensation because there are benefits that accrue to an employee, and compensation includes the salaries and benefits of. And finally, I want to find out the specialized expenses. What exactly is that?
So those are operational, special operational expenses. That is what is classified. In actual fact, these classifications are IPSAS approved classification. The government of Ghana account is provided by Controlling Accountant General, is trying to, you know, make the accounting system, you know, uniform, so that if you pick any account and they are consolidating it, the line items can be matched so that they can have a proper government account. And so these line items are provided by Control Accountant General based on the ISTA standards that have been provided to all the various institutions. And specialized expenditure is mostly for the security agencies who, you know, engage in special operational activities. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you are not the only security agency we are looking at, but that wasn't there. So that's what I'm saying. Even if it's under compensation of employees, you can still explain in the notes to the accounts so that when you are looking at the total benefits of your employees, that will also be part of it. But I think on the whole, it's your current ratio is okay, it's 1.1:1, and I believe you should either maintain it or do better, but you can't come down. So on the whole, I think.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. I think our current ratio, you know, our sources of funding to especially EOCO has been one of, you know, an issue. If you look at the GOG, especially the goods and services, if you look at the government grant, compare it to compensation, then you will notice that the difference that's to take care of goods and services is just about under 2 million that GOG is providing. So we need that sustainable funding to be able to provide the necessary inflows that will guide our operational activity. Thank you very much.
Sustainable funding can also come in if you go through the right channel to set some parameters as your IGF collection. The support services you give to some of these agencies should be some source of proper IGF for you, where you can capture, you come through maybe fees and charges, and then you establish the amounts that you ought to charge, and this can be some revenues and to also help support your activities. When it comes to working on fees and charges and its regulations, your minister is very good at it. I must say that when I was the deputy minister, he really supported me in bringing this fees and charges regulations to Parliament, and it was a success. So you are in good hands. You ask him, he will support you and make it happen. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I'm actually bringing a bill to Parliament. It's a new Economic and Organized Crime Office bill, and we'll deal with the issue of their, fees and charges and retentions in the bill. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Chair, thank you for the opportunity. I think I asked this question particularly because it is, and I actually listened to the explanation that was given to the line item grant in kind. The amount for 2023, it's 490,000. Now, the explanation given by the witness indicated that this relates to things like computers or other items that may be donated to IOCO. IOCO being the entity that it is, my question, and this perhaps could be answered by the Attorney General himself, whether you think that ethically it is appropriate for IOCO to get things like grants in kind, apart from the income or grants that are approved for the entity at its source of income, whether it is ethically correct for IOCO to take in-kind support from the public. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, I think that's a legitimate concern that has been raised by the honorable member. But if you look at the listed entities, for instance, Bank of Ghana, it's a government, it's part of the apparatus of state. IOCO does not receive such donations from private persons because of issues of conflict of interest. Okay? So, for instance, when I assumed office in February, one of the things that they came to brief me on was the fact that they did not have printers. We looked everywhere. We couldn't find money to buy the printers. So I bought printers out of my own funds for them. So, yes, there were 6 heavy-duty printers that I bought for them out of my own funds. So there is no conflict, in this, because I want the entity to work efficiently, and that is why I had to make that donation. And Bank of Ghana has also been very, very supportive. So we don't take donations from entities that will generate conflict of interest as far as the mandate of EOCO is concerned.
Thank you.
All right. Now let's go to the infraction. It's on paragraph 886. Honorable Eleplem will take care of that one, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this infraction is an unearned salary to the tune of 25,648 cedis. Yeah, we noted that this gentleman in question, David Tete, an assistant staff officer of Bono Regional Office, breached the paragraph 7 of the appointment letter issued by Yoko to him. I quote, "If after probation, the confirmation, you wish to terminate your services with the office, you will be required to give the office 1 month notice or pay 1 month salary in lieu of notice." We also noted that this gentleman in question received 3 months of salary, August, September, October, whilst he was not at post. Can you give us an update of the said amount of money? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As was indicated, a member of staff separated from the office. He actually took his annual vacation leave, and while the leave was pending, he took the decision to separate. But through those processes, by the time we were expecting him to report and he didn't, then we needed to take the other steps. It took us a while to get a hold of him because he had apparently left the jurisdiction. However, we were able to get him to pay back the money which he paid in installments. And for that reason, we had to accumulate and ensure that we had received the full amount, which we subsequently transferred to the Auditor General's account. And to the Auditor General's recovery account as is required by law, because it's an issue which had come up and in the Auditor General's report, and we've gone through that process. So that information has been conveyed, Madam Chair.
Auditors, can you please confirm whether the said amount has been recovered?
Honorable Chair, the full amount has been recovered and same transferred into the Aegis Recoveries account. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Madam. What is so funny about this is when we talk to other ministries, agencies, departments, whenever there is an unearned salary, you ask them about the documents. Yoko has come for the documents. Yoko is working for them. And you, Yoko, you are also creating the same problem, unearned salary. So who is watching the watchman?
Honorable Chair, that is a very succinct question, which truly, that's why I sought to give a bit of a description. Sometimes things occur, and we have been trying to follow up on other agencies who have ended up with a similar situation to ours. But here's a situation where there wasn't any indication this man was not going to return from his annual vacation leave. In fact, it was subsequent to his separation that we found out that he wasn't even in the country. But as we have the Auditor General also watching us and our activities and drawing our attention to the things which would create issues, we are also making sure that we stay in line and are even more explicit in following through. So when an officer is now proceeding on leave, we ensure that we do the checks. If by the dates that they are required to respond, they haven't, we take measures to freeze the account. So funds would not go into the account until we get a verification that it's maybe for ill health or some other reason. So we will not have a situation where there's loss occasion to the state. Thank you.
So all this while, who was validating him? Is the person still at post? If yes, I mean, he has to be investigated.
Thank you for the cue, Madam Chair. We'll take notes of that.
Please, I need some answers, please.
Madam Chair, the person is still at post. But it was when we found out that they had left the man had left the jurisdiction and was not even here in the country. The indication that was given was that a family member was ill, so he needed some time. But subsequently, we found out that he was not in the jurisdiction. And that's when we took the steps and started the recovery process. Thank you.
In fact, an office like Economic and Organized Crime Office shouldn't be, giving these answers. We expect more from you. Please. Thank you.
Madam, I have another serious thing with most of the ministries, departments, and agencies. When they come here, we ask them about documents that they should have presented to the auditors. Yoko has come for them. Now, Yoko comes for this without any evidence, any document, something to show that, yes, Yoko has come for your unpresented PVs or whatever it is. How should we treat this one? Don't you leave any documents at the institutions?
Madam Chair, thank you very much for the question. This is very important to us. And as an investigative institution, we do things by the book. Whenever we have to engage any agency or any persons in the course of our investigation, and we require documentation from them, we actually write to them. That's the first thing. In the event that it is in the process of carrying out a search where we go with the suspect and we go to the location, in the course of the search, we discover certain documents. We document each one and ensure that the person signs off to what we have received while our officers also sign off. So that document is available to them and a copy with us. If anybody comes here before you, Honorable Chair, and they give an indication that their documents have been taken and have not been returned by IOCO, I'm sure that they should be able to provide a list or that indication of what documents were collected at what time. And once we are done with what is needful, we return the document to them also under cover of a letter. So I think that you should be able to inquire from them the date and the time and the circumstances under which those documents were retrieved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam. You are discharged. Now let's call Ghana General Legal Counsel.
Madam Chair, the General Legal Counsel is not here, and I had discussions with them this morning.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, the documents that are that relate to this matter are yet to be laid before the council by the Director of Legal Education, who is still, he just took office somewhere in September. So,
all right, sir.
So you can give us another date to appear
Yes.
before you in respect of that matter.
Yes.
In other words, I'm seeking for an adjournment.
I'm sorry. All right, sir. Attorney General, thank you so much coming to Public Accounts Committee, even
Thank
though
you.
you have such a hectic schedule, and you are discharged.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee.
Honorable Minister, we will communicate to you the next available date. Thank you so much for attending upon us.
Okay, now let's call Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology. We'll start with our National Biosafety. I'm sorry. Let's call PPA, please.
I
I
swear by the Almighty God.
swear by the Almighty God
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
Touching the matter in issue. Shall be the truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Okay, please introduce yourself to the committee.
Good afternoon, Chairman. My name is Frank Manti. I'm the CEO of the Public Procurement Authority. I'm here with my colleagues. I'll kindly ask that they introduce themselves.
Chairman, I'm Theophilus Tetechai, the acting deputy CEO, in charge of finance and administration.
Good afternoon, Chairperson. My name is Clement Ousufojo. I'm the Director for Policy, Planning and Research at the Public Procurement Authority. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chairperson. My name is Fred Ali, Deputy Director, Finance.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. My name is Ebenezer Kwawahanelabi, Head of Finance, PPA.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Kwame Adobafo, the Head of Internal Audit.
All right, I will start off with your financial performance. Government subvention between 2022 and 2023, it went up over 136%. What accounted for that?
The Chairman, I'll cede for my Head of Finance to respond to this, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So in 2022, our finances were not, the finances were not too good. So we had a lot of arrears. And in 2023, we were so fortunate to have been given enough just to clear our arrears. And that is how come our releases in 2023 went up. Additionally, the IGF for 2023 also increased because we were given the approval, I think somewhere middle of 2022 to start collecting some IGF on supply registration. So if you look at 2022 figures, were not good because it was towards the end of the period. But in 2023, because we had a full year, you realize that there was an increase in our IGF collections. Thank you.
What are these grants and other income?
Grants and other income is the releases that are given based on our budget, the budget that is approved by the Ministry of Finance, and it's made up of our goods and services and compensation.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's done with that one. I'm looking at your financial position. Looking at our financial position over here, it went from 0.1 to 1 to 3.1 to 1. Wow. It means you are doing very well out there. You can take care of your short-term obligations. Now, the current assets, that went from 461,000 to 2.6 million. What happened?
That's it. So current assets also increased because, like I indicated earlier, Honorable Chair, A year earlier, we had financial issues because our finances were not good. So in 2023, we had, because our finances increased a bit, we were able to procure some of the materials and items we needed to enhance our operations.
Does it have any connection with your current liabilities from 3.8 million to 845,000?
Yeah, so that is why that explains for the reduction in our current liabilities, because in the previous year we were actually not able, so we had a lot of arrears, and that was taken care of in 2023 when financials were better.
Okay, let's go to management infractions. And it's paragraph 1578. And Honorable Yeboah will take care of that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That is about staff advances that amounted to 82,310. And 10 employees took salary advance to the tune of 82,309. And the auditors recommended that management should take steps to recover. As at that time, you had collected 17,166 out of the 82,000. So what's the current status now?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As we speak, in fact, before the 2024 financial audit was completed, we had finished collecting all these monies, and same had been lodged into the appropriate accounts. So no staff owes anything as we speak now.
So auditors, can you confirm, please?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm an amount of 81,309.73 to have been recovered. But there is an outstanding 1,000 in the name of Francis Bedu, who is deceased. So we'll need a guidance of the committee on this.
The deceased person, doesn't he have any family members to pay? Look, you guys went to the funeral, right? When the guy died. Huh?
Honorable Chair, yes, we did.
How much of contribution did you give to the deceased family? The family?
Well, per our policy is, at the time it was 1,000 cedis.
1,000 cedis.
Yeah, at the time it was 1,000 cedis that we donated to a deceased staff, if a deceased staff passed.
And you guys couldn't contribute another 1,000 cedis to pay for his unearned salary?
Honorable Chair, like I indicated, this has been cleared, but at the time the auditors came, we had not. So that is why it was captured.
So 1,000 cedis. So you paid that one?
Honorable Chair, please, we have done that.
As somebody passes away, you go there, you eat, you drink, and then you pay just 1,000 cedis. Abba! Then stay home and then just send 1,000 cedis. Yes, sir. All right.
Finance Director, please, what are the steps being put in place so that this doesn't reoccur in future? And what are the steps you put in place? Because salary advance is going to come on board.
Right.
So what are the steps being put in place?
So, Honorable Chair, with your indulgence, let me give you a bit of a background to why this actually happened and the reason why it will not reoccur. So this is not advances that were given to staff who are actually, like maybe somebody who is who is working and he needed money and he has applied for a loan to be given and they refused to pay. No, it happened because at the time when we were engaged, it took some time for controller to actually migrate to or finish processing your things onto the controller system. And you realize somebody will be coming to work, he has been engaged more than 3, 4, 6 months. It's not a process, and it becomes very difficult. So as an institution, you couldn't just look on. We needed to support the person. So we gave them some money that when controller pays them, then these monies are refunded. Unfortunately, most of them, in fact, these people involved, when they were paid, their full salary was, at the time, if you can recall, government came out with a policy that only 3 months of back pay will be given. So some of them who had worked for more than 6, 7, 8 months, some of them even more than 11 months, receive only 3 months. Now, where were they going to get the monies to pay? So it became an issue. But we needed to collect these monies anyway, and that is how come it dragged. In any case, for now, such a situation does not exist.
If you have cleared it, I think it's fine.
Thank you.
Yes. We are grateful that you have cleared. All we're saying is that make sure it doesn't happen again. Thank you. Yeah.
PPA, you are discharged. Now let's call PURC. You have just one staff. Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Good afternoon. We are the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. I'm here with, I'm Shafiq Suleiman, the Acting Executive Secretary. And I'm here with...
So I'm Wallace Diodu, Director of Finance and Admin, PURC.
Judith Adibo Kamaujo, Head of Finance.
Barbara Fletcher, Legal Manager.
Deputy Director, Water.
Right, Honorable Enim will take care of your financials.
Thank you, Chair. PURC, so we are considering your financial performance.
Turn your microphone off, please. Hold on, please. You guys haven't taken the oath, have you? You haven't. All right, now you may want to take the oath before you answer questions.
Swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, now go ahead, please.
Thank you, Chair. So PURC, we are taking your financial performance. So your income, your regulatory income went up by about 46%. What accounted for this increase?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. So our regulatory income is coming from a levy on electricity transmitted and then gas transmitted. So it depends on the volume of gas transmitted and then the electricity transmitted. So what it meant was that in 2023, we had more electricity being transmitted. Because of the demand, there's always a demand on electricity demand. So that's what accounted for that. Thank you.
Then for your non-regulatory income too, it's also shot up by 66%.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. So the non-regulatory income is coming from exchange gain. Our levy on gas transmitted, we do the calculation on USD. It's 0.2 pesos per standard cubic feet of gas transmitted. So in 2023, there was the exchange depreciation of the Ghana cedi. So at the end of the year, we do the revaluation, and then that's why it's shot up. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. On your expenditures, I can see that your personal cost went up by about 35. Was there recruitment or it was just increase in emoluments?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. So there was an increase in emoluments to catch up with inflation. Then aside that also, we added on to the staff strength. So there are about 19 staff that we added on. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll just take your financial position. Your ratio has improved, and that shows prudent management. So I think at this point, Chair.
Please feel free. Let him ask. My name is.
Yeah, PRC, thank you. You are here. And when you look at utility companies, especially ECG, they use a lot of resources in even over the bar, where the budget approved for them. This year, for instance, the audited account, they shot up about 180 million Ghana cedis. And if such institutions come to your outfit for increase in tariff, do you look at these things?
Okay, thank you very much. Usually what happens is that every 3 years, the PURC undertake what we call a MITO, a multi-year tariff order. And all the institutions are required to submit, including ECG, their regulated asset base for re-evaluation and then using it as a base to do the quarterly tariff adjustment. So this year, for instance, we started the process and ECG submitted their asset, we evaluated it, and we are using it as a base to actually regulate their assets. So going forward, it's the beginning of the year. Going forward, we'll be looking at their asset base and we'll be making sure that whatever asset they've submitted going forward will not be inflated or will not be seeing any infractions with their expenditure.
Go ahead.
It's not just their assets, but the efficient use of their resources. That is also important. When you look at those things, I think it will help you make a better decision as to when to bring in the tariffs, or they themselves, you rein in on them to clean their books, clean their houses, and clean their books and make sure they save enough so as not to pass on the inefficiency to consumers.
Okay, thank you. So we use multiple benchmarks actually as a base to regulate them. Some of the infractions, we try as much as possible to go after them to ensure that they don't go overboard. But you see, some of them are also, they sometimes go overboard, and that requires collective, all of us to take responsibility and ensure that they don't overspend. So we usually compare them with the benchmarks, and we issue regulatory orders to them to ensure that they go by the order. I mean, once in a while they comply, but other times too, we have challenges with.
You see, if I keep you here, we have a lot of questions to ask PURC, but just a lot of people behind you. You are discharged. Now, let's call Ministry of Environment and Science and Technology.
Chair, you've done well for us. You've done very well for us. Minister. Minister is one of us.
Yes.
Minister is one of us.
Oh, but you know.
We can do that.
Let's call National Biosafety Authority. Are you here? Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Honorable Chair, my name is Kwame Day Asamoah Ochre. I'm the CEO for the National Biosafety Authority.
Hold on. Where's your minister?
He's coming. He stepped out.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. My name is Asimeni William, Head of Account.
National Biosafety Authority, what do you do?
The National Biosafety Authority is a regulatory institution, and we regulate the development, transportation, handling, and use of genetically modified organisms, popularly known as the GMOs.
Let's look at your financials. Where do you get these grants from?
Honorable Chair, we get the funds from GOG. And then we do have some IGF.
No, grants.
Well.
You get them from
Grants,
GOG.
yes, GOG.
And the same way you get your non-tax revenue.
Our non-tax revenue is the IGF that we generate.
Where do you get this IGF from?
So as a regulator, we issue approvals and permits. We work mainly in research and development for the products that we regulate. So we have research institutions, they come in for permits to enable them to undertake research and development work.
There's not much over here for us to talk about your financials. Okay.
Respectfully, are you at the airports?
Honorable Chair, we are not at the airports yet. It's,
Why? Because I know in other countries, you have experts like you at the airport, and you are not supposed to bring certain things, certain organisms into the country. That's why I asked if you are at the airport to check some of these things that come in. Because these days, people bring in all kinds of things, and it's affecting our own vegetation and our own plants and our own organisms.
Yes. You are absolutely correct, Honorable Chair. So what we've done this year is we've written to the Customs Division to get us onto the ICOMs. As we know now, there are only 3 agencies that are allowed in the ports, so we are unable to find place in the port. The late minister was making efforts to find us space at the airport and at Tema as well. So currently we are getting ourselves onto the ICOMs, and with the HS codes that have been agreed on, that would mean that any organism or anything that we regulate that is coming into the country, importers would have to come for permits from us to bring them in.
All right, sir, you are discharged.
Thank you.
Now, let's go to Nuclear Regulatory Authority. And it's on paragraph 1399. Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Yes, the name, I'm Professor Francis Otu, acting Director General, Nuclear Regulatory Authority. Professor Francis Otu, acting Director General, Nuclear Regulatory Authority.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members. My name is Augustine Fanu, the Deputy Director General.
Honorable Chairman, I am James Kofi, Acting Director of Finance and Administration.
Honorable Chair, Mary Senanu, Head of Finance, Acting.
Did you take the oath to tell the truth?
Yes.
All right.
No, they said no.
Who said no? You haven't? Okay, then.
No.
Clerk, swear them in.
I
Augustine Fanu,
swear by the Almighty God
Swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue
touching the matter issue
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
so help me God. Thank you.
So, Nuclear Regulatory Authority, what do you do?
We issue permits, license for any industry in Ghana to use radiation, or which nuclear material, which is the application involve an aspect of nuclear applications.
Yes. What I'm saying is that institution which uses radiation sources. For example, hospital uses an X-ray. If you go to mining, they also have a nuclear gauges. If you go to oil and gas, they also use radiation sources for exploration. And if you go to road construction, they also use for moisture and thickness of the road. So we issue them a permit and license before they can use.
So, Chair, thanks for the opportunity. Prof, so apart from issuing licenses, what else do you do? Do you have any management? Do you have any research contribution to developing the sector? How do you regulate anything apart from issuing licenses?
Actually, NRA, how it was established, from research-based, organized before we moved to establish the Nuclear Regulatory Authority. So we are also doing a lot of researches to support our input. Actually, we even wanted to move into the environment where we have done a lot of research, including myself, of which we need to have to regulate the radiation sources, which is coming as a result of some practice, especially underground mining, and where environment has been disturbed, quarries and others. We have put in place that if things go somewhere, of which we are here to submit our regulation, probably by end of this year, to the Department for the approval. When we have that go ahead, then we're also going to enter into an area which is different from where we are in now. Thank you.
All right, Honorable Bar, you take care of the financial statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to. I've looked at the statement and I want to find out from Prof. There's had interest income. What is interest income on your account?
Yes, I'll refer the question to my acting head of finance. Thank you.
Hello, Chair. I think there was classification error. That's our IGF. So we have two sources of funds, the GOG and the non-tax revenue, the IGF. But when they were writing it, they indicated interest income. The auditors, it was written as interest income in their report, but it's our IGF.
Auditors, is that the IGF or you have another narration to it?
Honorable Chair, it should be the IGF. But we'll have to confirm that. But it's from what I'm getting from the team, it's IGF in the detailed account.
So that's why I'm just looking at it, because if you look at the quantum drop is about the difference is about 3.4 million. So what did you do differently to have such a quantum drop in your IGF?
So in September 2022, our fees and charges were revised. So we had an increment in the collections.
Understandable. But looking at you recorded 1,147,829 surplus, as compared to the previous year's surplus of 206 million recorded in 2022. Represent yeah. So what accounted for that?
Honorable Chair, the increment in the income resulted in the bottom line, which is the surplus, increasing by that percentage.
Yeah. But overall, if you look at your current ratio, it declined. However, you'll be able to meet your short-term obligations when they fall due, but you need to at least be able to I'm just looking at from the fact that your IGF, you were able to double or triple your IGF, your ratio shouldn't come down again like this.
Yes, so noted. But ideally, the industry standard for the current assets is 2:1 or 1.5:1. But we are doing about 43.1.
Yes, we know that.
So.
If you are doing well, it doesn't mean that you should retrogress.
Okay.
If you are doing well, it doesn't mean that you should retrogress. You understand? You are doing well. Why are you retrogressing? So if you keep on retrogressing, you come to a level that will not be sustainable.
Well, Honorable, what it means is the money sitting out there, they are now using it. Yes.
Okay. And what are you using it for? Can you walk us through what you use it for?
You're using it for operational activities. Yes, because they go around doing inspections and all of that. So the money that is set unutilized.
Mr. Chairman, that will be okay for me.
All right. Nuclear Regulatory Authority, you are discharged. Now let's call Environment Protection Agency. Did you guys take the oath? Okay, please introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm Dr. Jacob Parachuga Nankwari, Deputy CEO in charge of General Services.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm Dr. Osman Haruna, the Director of Finance of EPA. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm the Dr. Osman Haruna Chinibua, Director of Finance of EPA, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Musa Yakubu, the Internal Auditor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Please, did you say you are Dr. Haruna Chinibua? Oh, okay.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Professor Michael Ayamga. I'm the Deputy CEO in charge of operations.
Thank you very much. Respectfully, where's your CEO?
Chair, the CEO is not in the country. She's gone on official assignments, and so she's asked her two able deputy CEOs to come in. I mean, unless you want to see her face, whatever information you want, these two young men here are capable of doing it. And respectfully, I know that you are working with time, and so I know you accommodate us.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Yes, we are working with time and everything, but it's also important because they are not the CEOs. We have a CEO, and then they are the deputy CEOs. So then when responsibilities like these come, and we expect to see the CEO, we want to see the CEO. But today, like you said, he or she is out of the country. But we are hoping that in our next sitting, the CEO will appear before the committee. I know that we are all carrying our mandates, doing what is expected of us, and so we expect him or her to do same.
We are grateful. But is she?
A she?
Yes,
oh, okay. So we expect her to do same. I first, I see exchange operating income. EPA, what do you do that you earn Forex or it's not Forex income?
Honorable Chair, before I say anything, I want to use this opportunity to pay glowing tribute to our late minister, Honorable Dr. Alhaji Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, who fell out in the course of duty in safeguarding this environment alongside Dr. Omani Boama, Honorable Limuna, my own brother-in-law, Wing Commander Peter Anala, and other distinguished gentlemen who were fighting to protect this environment. I also want to apologize sincerely for the absence of my beloved CEO, Professor Nanama Brown-Kluche, who is currently on a national assignment. On behalf of the board and management of EPA, I want to fervently thank the auditors for bringing out these infractions and to thank you for giving us audience. Thank you so much.
May their souls continue to rest with the Lord. Honorable Mutala was a member of this committee, and he would drill me anytime I come. I sit here, he's sitting somewhere here, and it's not easy, but we can't explain why. We don't know why. But as they say, we'll leave it for God. So, yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Now back to the substantive issue of our rule. According to Section 2ABCD of the Environmental Protection Act 2025, Act 1124, our main objective is to regulate, protect, coordinate, and exercise general oversight over issues regarding regulating climate change and the environment. And in so doing, we charge levies to give permits, to inspect, to monitor, and check for compliance. So these are some of the sources of revenue for the Environmental Protection Authority, among several others. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
So there was some gain, or he said exchange operating income, meaning the forex that came in that you translated into Ghana cedis. Is that it?
Madam Chair, the exchange operation income is basically a term from the IFSAS. That is a term that IFSAS requires that they.
So term that, okay.
IG,
you are also now.
That is the core fees or core income that the.
Okay, so the auditors, there are some accounts that you treat fully with the IFSAS whatever, and then there are others that you just. So let there be some consistency moving forward, so that we know that this is how things have been treated. Okay, thank you. And then what constitutes your finance income, please?
It's from interest on investment.
What kind of investment do you have that it gives you 1.9 million Ghana cedis a year, a government entity?
I think the finance, where's our finance? Call the Dominic to come and answer. Dominic.
Please, have you been sworn in? Please, have you been sworn in?
Honorable Chair, yes. My name is Dominic Pei, and I'm an accountant at the EPA. Honorable Chair, the investments that we have are concerned with short-term investments.
I said, what type of investment do you have that gives you 1.9 million in interest?
They are treasury bills.
So, shame on you. So, sir, T-bills. Then what is your quantum of investment? I'm surprised that you have monies enough to invest. Yet, yes. What kind of investment? What is the quantum of that money that gave you 1.9 million in finance income?
As of 2023, it was about 28 million.
It was about
28 million.
28 million.
Yes.
So is that government of Ghana funds or it is EPA funds or how do you classify it?
They are internally generated funds.
Internally generated funds?
Yes, please.
And do you have 100% retention?
Yes, please.
You have 100% retention?
Yes, we do.
So you choose to put it in a bank?
They are reserves. When we get reserves, we get surplus. We don't leave it idle. We choose to buy government treasury bills with it.
You said they are reserves, but in 2023, you made a deficit. You made a loss of 13.7 million.
That is the income statement for the year.
Yes.
But the investment is concerned with previous years' reserves. Previous years, we had been making surpluses in previous years. For instance, in 2022, we made a surplus of 2.1.
2.1 million?
Yes, please.
Uh-huh. And then the year before that, how much did you make?
The year before that, we made a surplus of about the same quantum, 2.1. But it had been continuing, accumulating, yes, for the previous years.
But you are not doing something right, too. Did you see that your current ratio reduced from 7.9 to 1 to 2.7 to 1?
Honorable Chair, that is true. And the reason for that reduction was an exceptional event that happened in 2023. One, because we went for a loan, a facility to acquire vehicles that helped us in our operations. So the interest on that was paid within that year. And moreover, because the vehicles were acquired new and we had to charge depreciation within that very year, the depreciation was added to our administrative fund, administrative expenses. And
how many vehicles did you buy?
We bought 45 vehicles.
Wow. At a go?
Yes, Honorable.
45 vehicles.
Yes, Honorable Chair. And that boosted our revenue. If you look at it, our revenue increased so much within that year, and it has continued to increase. In 2024, it increased. In 2025, it is increasing. And let me put it on notice that in 2024, we went ahead to pay off that deficit and made a profit of a surplus of 21 million in 2024, and this year to increase.
So it should improve your current ratio, your current position of your current ratio. Okay. I think on the whole it's fine, but you see, anytime you see them, you see public boards make some revenue, you see a huge jump in their administrative expenses. You made a revenue of 23.8%, and we saw a jump to 25.7% in your administrative expenses. Why do you do that? The fact that you make more revenue does not mean you should spend more.
Honorable Chair, that is true. But the operations of EPA is such that our revenue generation is directly correlated with our monitoring, compliance monitoring and enforcement. So the more we do compliance monitoring and enforcement, the more our revenue. And that also increases our expenditure. But what we are doing now is that we have put measures in place that the increase in our revenue will be more than the rate of increase in our expenditure. so that we'll be fine.
Yeah, that is what I was going to propose, but you have seen the light, because you can't spend more than what you raise.
Yes.
Then where is there? There's no need. You don't save for a rainy day. I mean, tomorrow you need something more, and then you need to go into your savings and take some money. So let's note this and not spend more than we raise in one financial year.
Well noted.
And then I think we've spoken about your financial position. So you've promised us that you are going to work on it to make sure you raise more revenue. And this time when you raise revenue, you not let your expenses consume all the revenues that you raise. One last question. We have seen an increase in the siting of fuel stations in residential areas. Do you also give permits to such businesses?
Honorable Chair, we do, but this is a very technical question, so my chief executive
not just
will take
the
up.
Fuel stations, but gas stations too. A lot of gas stations are being sited in residential areas.
Honorable Chair, I think our chief executive wants to take this up.
I'm told your chief executive is not here.
Executive, sorry.
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you. It's an observation the CEO and us have observed. And in the past, they did place a ban following the explosion on the siting of gas stations in residential areas. And some of these things we are seeing are actually some residences growing up into closer to filling stations. So we have taken serious steps to review some of these sightings, because yes, you can be permitted and then later your permit revoked because the conditions of operations now don't actually allow for the coexistence of your industry and residential settings. And these are being reviewed. Having said that, we have actually decided to also spend more to increase our coverage, because some of these things are under the dark and they are without permits, and we have intensified our efforts to close many of them down. So yes, I do agree with you that some of them are wrongly cited, and we are on the trail to close many of them down.
Honorable Minister, you know, it is not the community going to catch up with, but these are new filling stations and new gas stations being constructed in the heart of very thick residential areas. And it's a bit scary. Do you have reps in all the districts?
Yeah, okay.
So let's admit that this is a very strong observation you have made, and it came up in one of our discussions when the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources was asked to have an oversight responsibility, and we had an engagement with them. This issue came up. And on record, we've seen a lot of filling stations springing up over the last 1.5 years. I mean, especially between 2023 to 2024. And some of the places where they are sited, honestly, are risk-prone areas. And so it's something that the minister is taking up, and to ensure that those that are supposed to be closed down are closed down to avoid any disaster that is likely to occur. And so we have taken on board your suggestion, and sooner or later, the ministry will be working with this agency to bring sanity to this area. Thank you.
And Honorable Minister, and I also think that you should look at your permit regime, because when you ask them, they tell you they have permits from EPA. And I ask myself, how were they able to acquire these permits when they are in the hearts of residential areas? So I'll plead with you to ask EPA to also go through the rightful process in giving out permits. Because if you go ahead and give me permits, and I invest so much in putting up a filling station or a gas station, and later you come back to revoke, then one may ask, what made you give it to me in the first place? So I ask that EPA also follows due process and makes sure before they grant these permits, they do all the necessary checks. Thank you very much.
Well noted. And let me also use this opportunity to appeal to all of us Ghanaians to also be mindful of the fact that when these filling stations are sited at wrong places, the risk is on all of us. And we're also told somewhere along the line that there's always pressure on these officers from big men, I don't want to be specific, okay, who even threatens them. And at the end of the day, they are compelled, more or less under some duress, to, or let me say, under undue influence, to give out these licenses when indeed, if they were to do it on their own, they wouldn't do it. And so on behalf of the minister, I want to use this platform and on behalf of the agency to appeal to all those who want to do business in these areas to be mindful of the fact that if you use any undue process to get it, you are only posing a risk to all of us. And so when the officers are telling you that it is not possible to cite it here, please let's adhere to that. Because at the end of the day, it is not just the officers alone and you, the person who is pushing them alone, but the general public suffers it, and the country sometimes will lose money as a result of that. So we are making an appeal, especially to politicians. Because if you check the records of all those that have been cited over the years, many of them, we are behind them. I'm saying we because I'm a politician. And so we need to refrain from that. Thank you.
Chair, do a follow-up. Minister, we know we all have been traveling all over the world, and then if fuel stations are sited even in the communities which are in the age of technology, why won't people set in the age of this technology people we are using? Why not?
I mean, this is a question that we should have been asking you. What is the level of our technology in this country? It is the level of technology that will determine some of the decisions that we take. Yes, in developed economies where technology is high, they are able to take these decisions and cite these gases within their communities and they have no any problem. We can ask ourselves, how many times have we heard that fuel stations have exploded in these developed countries? And then come to ask yourself here in Ghana, we have experienced it several times. So it takes time to get to where you are talking about, where we'll get to a point with a higher technology that we can cite these gases in our communities without a difficulty. But as it stands now, we need to tread cautiously and we need to ensure that we cite them at places where it won't pose a risk to us.
All right. The infraction is on paragraph 1418, and Honorable Alec Plame will take care of that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Management issues. No title deeds to landed properties. So we have 4 district assemblies: Atebubu, Akimodan, Elembele, Takwa. Can you tell us why till now these institutions have not been titled? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We are aware that Section 52 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016 Act 921 states that a principal spending officer shall maintain a register of lands and buildings and all other assets under the control or possession of the principal spending officer. It further states that the register referred to in Section 3 shall contain a record of the details of each parcel of land and each building. Honorable Chair, for the land in Takwa, we received a letter from the Takwa Nsue Municipal Assembly on 17th September. In fact, I have evidence of the letters, the correspondence between EPA and the district assembly here. We actually failed to develop the land at the time due to financial constraints. So they wrote to us outrightly indicating that they had reallocated the land to ECG. That letter came to us on 12 May 2021. On 14th May 2021, the regional director wrote back to them indicating that we at least should have been put in the known. We had deposited some items, done some amount of pillaring, so we're shocked this was done. So when we wrote to them, they wrote back to us indicating that there is still an opportunity for us to be given another parcel of land whenever we are ready to develop it. So that is being followed now that our resources are going up. On the issue of the Atebubu land, which is about 1.13 acres, the EPA director of the Bono East region applied to the Lands Commission on 27 July 2022 for a lease. In response, the Lands Commission wrote to the director on the 25th of June 2025 to the Fiscal Planning Department of Atebubu Amantim Municipal Assembly to furnish them with the planning comments on suitability of the site for the project that EPA intends to undertake. We are therefore awaiting feedback from the Lands Commission. On the issue of the Elembele land, which is about 0.37 acres, which is intended for an office, the acting director for Elembele wrote to the district assembly on the 8th of August 2025, requesting the site plan for onwards registration. In response to us, on a letter dated 27th October, the coordinating director of the district assembly indicated that they are currently undergoing procedural formalities to register their interest on the said lands. And so they are unable to furnish the Environmental Protection Authority with the appropriate documentation to register the lands. Honorable Chair, respectfully, it seems they cannot give us what they don't have. So I think we are humbly waiting on them to register their interest and then subsequently give us the opportunity to proceed with the registration. Honorable Chair, with the issue of the Achimoda, the acting director wrote to the Lands Commission in Koforidua on the 31st of July 2025 to request registration with the site plan and allocation letter, which is in our possession. So the the authority on September 3rd, 2025, has been directed by the Physical Planning Department of the Birim Central Municipal Assembly to request the cadastral site plan and indenture to facilitate the registration. This is currently ongoing. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Deputy CEO, I think for one of them, you talked about financial issues. What the auditors recommended was just to register. It wasn't about developing it, registration. And if you look at their recommendations, the auditors had even stated that these assemblies may reallocate the lands to other institutions in the absence of the title deeds. So your inability to develop does not prevent you from registering. And I do not think that you need a quantum sum of money to register your interest in the land. And the auditors are right here. You have lost that to ECG. So please, next time you have access to some of these things, let's do the right and register. We have title to it, and nobody can reallocate. So that is what we need to do. We shouldn't always blame everything on financial constraint. Every institution has these problems. But then registering a land will not cost you so much. Now you are privileged to be under the Lands Ministry. So they should be able to support you to register some of these interests. Yes.
Thank you. Well noted, Honorable Chair. This will be taken into serious consideration. Thank you.
Yeah, so just to add up to what my brother said, the Lands Commissioner was on this committee this morning, and then he's taking steps to make things much easier. So I would prefer, or I would suggest you go see him, and then we quickly finish these titles. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We will do exactly as suggested. Thank you.
My question is about your centralization of your operations. If somebody wants to take a permit from you, it passes through the region, and the region have to transmit everything to you, sign at the headquarters before they send it back. Even in terms of payment, what system are you putting in place for ease of payment? Because the processes is so cumbersome. What strategies are you putting in place? Second one, you suppose restaurants, hospitality, and then hostels, you're supposed to also give them permit. But a lot of them in this country, you don't collect. Churches, you don't collect the money. What strategies are you putting in place to take this money?
Chair, yes, I agree that we do have a centralized system for permitting. And it used not to be the case. But just like Madam Chair mentioned, we realized that some permits in the regions were being granted, sometimes not following through rigorous procedures. So in order to put a tap on some of these things, we requested that they should be brought to the head office so that at least we can have a final look at it and then okay them. I can say that, yes, sometimes there are delays, but we are able to issue the permits. We think that because we don't get a chance to do over again and to prevent litigations and also serious catastrophes, we prefer that the permits come to the center where we are able to provide some checks and balances to ensure that they are rightly, the procedure was right before we issue the final permit. So that is the issue. Yes, I agree that for restaurants and some other hospitality industries, they operate without permit. Yes, I equally get shocked when we get somewhere and they say they are not even aware that they are supposed to get EPA permits. I just came from Takwa this morning. We're on compliance, and many of them will tell us they didn't know they should have a permit. And it is the reason why the late minister, may he so rest in peace, was pushing for an expansion so that our presence is felt in almost every nook and cranny of this country. And we are educating as well as regulating. So this is something we are already doing, that we are not only enforcing, but we are educating so that they can be compliant and we solve some of these problems. So yes, we have started going to the restaurants and working with them towards compliance.
Honorable Chair, yes, please, if I respectfully, okay. Sorry. Ever since we became an authority, our policy is to be present in every metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly. So we are registering our presence gradually in all these areas. This year alone, we are committed to opening 35 new offices to increase and broaden our scope in terms of environmental education. In that case, we'll be able to reach out to most of the health facilities, the restaurants, and other areas of tourism. And Honorable Chair, we will definitely get there. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Chair, just to bear witness that indeed some transformation is taking place at that agency, and talking about they opening up more branches. A few months ago, they were in Bole trying to search for a place to open an office. And so the people of Bole, if they are listening, very soon, EPA will be there to ensure that the right things are done. So indeed, something is happening, and we will take your advices on board. On the issue of the Ministry of Lands helping the EPA to register its lands, let me also appeal to the district assemblies and people who gives out land for government facilities or government organizations. If you don't have the land and you give it out, it becomes difficult for it to be registered. In the case of Takwa, the assembly didn't have any document to indicate, that's LMBLM, to indicate that they possess the land, they have ownership of the land. So a mere allocation of a letter to EPA makes it very difficult for EPA to be able to register it when they come to Lands Commission. And so the last meeting we have had and the last sitting that I have participated in this same committee, we have always been asking that all government institutions that are giving land try as much as possible to register it, from district assembly to all the agencies. Then you can even use it for other purposes. And so much as we are ready to help them register the land, if the source of the land, the person who's giving out the land, cannot transfer ownership to you, it becomes difficult for you to register. And we need to bring this on board.
Minister, you mentioned that they have come to look at Boli to see if they can site an EPA office there. When are they coming to Etiwa East? When are they coming to Commander Ejina Guafo Abrim? When are they coming to Kumewu? When are they coming to Keta?
It's a gradual process. Keta and then Commander, very soon they will be there. What is it called? Atiwa and Kumawu, as and when there's money.
Minister, today you are not leaving this committee.
Okay, EPA, you are discharged. Now, let's call CSIR, Building and Road Research. Now, could you please introduce yourself to the committee?
Seniors are talking. Wait. Thank you. This is CSIR, right? You don't have any infraction. It's not just the balancing.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. My name is Professor Paul Bosu, Director General of CSIR. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. My name is Professor Mark Bidiakon. I'm the Deputy Director of CSIR Building and Road Research Institute.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I'm Frederick Abingri, Head of Finance, CSIR Building and Road Research Institute. Thank you.
Now, what do you guys do? Oh.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I'm Dr. William Saf, Director of Finance, CSIR.
You do CSIR Building and Road Research Institute. What do you do?
Thank you, Chair. In CSIR Building and Road Research Institute, we look at the whole aspect of the building and road sector of the Ghanaian economy, and then the building and road sector of the Ghanaian economy, and then we also develop building materials using local materials for our work. So basically, that is what we do there.
So where have we built a road with local materials?
Well, okay, so for many years, I think we constructed the roads within Inner Kumasi, and that roads had stood for almost like 30 years. And sometimes too, we do consult for other projects within the country. Yeah. So basically, we are not contractors, but usually we serve as consultants.
You see, CSIR, let me say one thing. Burkina Faso grows strawberries. We can't get strawberry to grow here in Ghana. That is one. Number two, we've been talking about sugar factory all these years. I'm yet to see any organization that has special species or brands of this sugar cane for us to grow. You have to get them from Brazil, you have to get them from India. But if you go to CSIR, we have more degrees over there than any thermometer you've seen in this world. Yeah, research now.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chair, CSIR has done a lot and continues to do a lot. When you talk about sugarcane, I don't know for sure, but there's the capacity that we have. It's just a matter of, if, for example, it's the Ministry of Agriculture wanting to get new varieties of sugarcane, it is not beyond the ability of CSIR scientists to do that. So currently, the kind of products and crops and commodities that this country needs, like maize and rice and tomatoes, we have them. We have all the varieties. So that is one phase of what we do. The next phase is for investors to come in and uptake. So we are firmly on the ground, are capable of doing all these things for the country. We do that, honestly. Thank you.
All right. My only suggestion is sometimes don't sit somewhere for people to come to you. You need to go out and sell yourself. I know that somewhere they have different kinds of plantain that they are growing, but if you don't drive to CSIR's office, you wouldn't know about it. Then we keep on complaining. So, Masa, if a tree falls in the forest and you were not there to see it fall, did the tree fall? Let me move on. Because you may be doing so many things, but if we don't know about it, we won't use you. We'll rather bring the Indians, the Chinese, and then the Brazilians. Namotiho, with all your degrees. Let's talk about your finances, please. CSIR, building and road research. Government, what do you get for internal generated funds? Where does it come from?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We get our internal generated fund from consultancies work that we do with some of the mining firms and also the construction industry. And also we have some satellite research factories that we, like my director said, we do pozzolana cement and also bricks from clay. Thank you.
Now, what is this specialized expense that I see on your statement?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The specialized expenses, they are expenses that comes out as a result of projects that are not part of our core mandate. And when it happens like that, to capture it very well or to account for it very well, we normally align it to these specialized expenses. Thank you.
Okay. Now let's look at the financial position. Yours is 7.2 to 1 in 2023 as opposed to 4.0 to 1. Now, what happened over here with that? Oh, okay, I see that. There's so much to talk to you about your financials. You are doing very well, and you are discharged. Now, let's go to CSIR, Oil Research Institute. I read what I saw here. Is it oil palm? Hey, what happened to you that we took our palm trees to Malaysia and look at what they are doing with the palm trees? And Ghana, I've been there. Honorable Dr. Jasso, you would take care of that one, please.
Thank you, Prof. Prof. Chair. CSIR. DG, I know that the first comment, you didn't have time to react adequately to the chairman's comments because as a member of the Environment Committee, we did visit some of your installations and we were amazed at the kind of research output that you have there. And some of them have crystallized into usable products for the Ghanaian people. Some are packaged so well for export. And I think that the limiting factor there was how to support you to be able to expand usage of these products. Whether it is honey, whether it is cassava, huge loads of research array.
Honorable member, let me ask you this. If you weren't on the Environment Committee and you wouldn't have and had not gone to visit them, would you have known what CSIR does?
So Honorable Chair, that's the exact point I'm making.
Exactly.
So we are together. Don't worry at all. We are together. Now, what I'm then saying is that because of that, you talked about the array of professors and doctors they have there. And I want to make the point, because being a researcher myself, it's an indictment that having an array of researchers is a problem. It's not. There are systemic challenges that we have as a country. And the
This is Afro Quality. It's not just a store. It's a new way to think about African retail. For centuries, Africa's artisans have created. But too often, their reach stopped at the border. Today, it is easier to bring goods from anywhere in the world and sell them in Africa than it is to make something in one African country and sell it in another. AfroQuality exists to change that. We are a retailer dedicated to African brands. A platform where makers scale beyond their home country. A bridge connecting cultures, markets, and communities across Africa. And behind it all, technology. Efficient, modern, seamless. AfroQuality is built to carry African creativity further with the speed and clarity of today's digital world. Africa is the youngest continent in the world, but youth is not an advantage without jobs. Jobs come when makers can sell, when industries can scale, when creativity is turned into commerce. AfroQuality is how we create those jobs, with a network of retail stores in different countries for African brands, making it easier for customers to buy African, and turning every purchase into an act of progress. This is not just retail, it is system change. It is possibility turned into reality. This is AfroQuality.
I just want to hear. Welcome to season 2 of Play by Ear. Make some noise! This is the only show all you need is your ear to win some cash. When I say play by ear, what you say?
This November, something amazing is coming to Accra. Are you a farmer with fresh produce? Are you into fish farming, poultry or livestock? Then get ready for the November edition of the AgriFair 2025. Yes, AgriFair 2025. It's happening on Friday the 28th to Sunday the 30th of November. It's happening at the A4 Southern Children's Park, and it's 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. It's the ultimate weekend marketplace, from fruits and vegetables to poultry, livestock and fish to agri-inputs and processing machinery, all at unbeatable farm gate prices. Whether you're selling or buying, this is your chance to connect, trade and grow. Enjoy the freshest farm produce, sizzling kebabs, and a vibrant marketplace atmosphere all in one space. Register now and secure your spot. Call 0558-973-973 for more information. AgriFair 2025, where culture meets innovation. AgriFair 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by Horticulture Business Platform, Development Bank Ghana, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, and Gersel.
We made it 1, 2, 3, and now 4. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a night of rhythm, culture, and pure Ghanaian energy. In Chin Chin Band is back. And this time, it's bigger, louder, and more electrifying than ever. It's the Chin Chin Experience, the Avivi edition. Happening live on the 14th of November 2025 at the National Theatre. Showtime 8 o'clock p.m. sharp. Featuring Lucky Mesa, Famiye, Na Ajaman, AEC, Lexi the Comic, Kwame Bringer, and TM Music. It's going to be a night of unforgettable music, laughter, and culture, all on one